On this show tonight, your hosts, Joe and Peter, will visit Ernie's shop, have a winter scenes run by, the photo of the months, the layout of Evan Diaz, and a preview of the Reeve Junction coming to you right after the short intro. In compliance with COPA, this video is not for children under the age of 14. Your discretion is advised. Sponsored by Canadian Model Railroad.ca and by donations from patrons like you.
Well, what time it is, Peter?
It's train time.
Yes, train times.
Welcome to our viewers.
We're very pleased with the viewer coming in and watching our show. Thank you very much, folks. As we said, we have a little visit to Alberta.
Yes.
Why don't you talk to us about that, Peter?
Well, my brother was nice enough to send us a video on Ernie Bescowany and his Canadian National 482 Mountain 6060, and a video of his shop where he builds them. He is the owner and operator of New West Live Steam, and I just give a brief readout here of what his 6060 locomotive. It's 1.5 inch scale, and it's on a 7.5 inch gauge track, which he rides on. So it's not a small model.
No, that's a big locomotive.
Just a brief write-up I have here. It has all our steam locomotives are equipped with certified boilers manufactured by a certified boiler maker and are registered with National Boiler Bureau and are stamped with the NB and S for the US and the CRN number for Canada. All boilers are inspected by the Boilers Branch during manufacturing stages and are annealed and stress relieved and x-rayed before final certification and stamps. They are designed for 175 psi operating pressure, and his 60 series U1F mountain type 482. It was the last Canadian National steam-powered, manufactured by Montreal Locomotive Works in 1944. And there was two numbers, 6060 and 6079. So we visit Ernie's shop where he builds these, and it's amazing. It's all components are designed on computer and assembled and fitted before CNC machining from solid stock, and a large number of the components are made from 400 series stainless. There are no castings for these locomotives. And if you want to learn more about Ernie and his business of building big model trains, you can go to www.newwestlivesteam.com. So thank you out to Alberta counterparts, my brother Ivan Hall, and his visit to Ernie's shop. So enjoy the video.
It's a different video than what you have, usually than what we have here. This one is a bigger scale. He even does diesel engine. You will see that through the video there. So
yes,
now,
he's actually the diesel is an EMD SD90 Mac that he's building. So.
That's right, and it's very detailed.
Yes.
So have fun, and let's go to see Ernie. And till then, enjoy.
Okay, so here we are at Ernie Bescowini's in Benalto. That's Ernie right there. And we're in Ernie's shop. He builds locomotives. This is the tender for 6060. And you can see a bit of detail of the controls in the back of the tender for his propane and for his brakes and ignition system. That's his wife's little steeple cab diesel that she rides on. This is the actual 6060. This is a 7.5 inch gauge, 1.5 inch scale model of the actual CN mountain locomotive. We have here a baggage car that acts as an auxiliary propane car. You can see the propane tank through the rear windows, and there's a riding seat for a guest. Now we'll move over to some of the assembly area. You can see all his machine tools and his parts. This is where some of the small fabrication takes place. This is another 6060 being built. And as we go down, you'll see some of the detailed machining that goes into the construction of these steam locomotives. We have some cylinder heads here and the exhaust blast pipes. Ernie spares no expense as far as accurate detailing of these steam locomotives. However, he's moved his interest of late to diesel locomotives, and here we have his latest production. This is a CP locomotive. It's a gas hydraulic. All of the axles are driven. You can see some of the detail that he's put into this. The fans, the latches, hinges, just phenomenal. And of course we have access into the interior. Incredible. This is the prototype that he's modeling. And here we have some close-ups of the actual traction trucks and the detail that goes into the machining of these pieces. The group that you see here is a collection of model engineers, live steamers from Alberta that have converged on Ernie's shop for this gathering today. And finally, when he runs out of track, he can always go to his traction engine, which is Sawyer Massey in 1.5 inch scale. All working. Some of the detail on it as well. Just great stuff. Here's an example of some of the trucks that are manufactured for the tender on 6060 on the mountain. And you can see the amount of detail that he puts into the various components that go to make up the final assembly over there. Just incredible.
Remember to like us, subscribe, and click the bell so we can notify you when new video are uploaded. Visit us at our website www.canadianmodelrailroad.ca.
Well, welcome back. I'm pretty sure you really enjoyed that video. It's sure quite a shop, you know. I wish I had the talent to do what Ernie does. Now, our next...
Well, Joe, you do have the talent. It's just not on that scale.
Well, no.
You're an HO.
Yeah, and you're an N scale. So, but now is the photo of the month. And the photo of the month is picture that you post on our Canadian Model Railroad Facebook group. Then we accumulate them and put them into this segment. So when you see the logo that you see there, saying Canadian Model Railroad Facebook group, and then the YouTube, it's Train Time, the show, you're at the right place. You can post your video, you can post your pictures from yourself or from your clubs, whatever you want to have us features.
And we'll add them to our library, and
that's right.
You'll become part of the photos of the month.
I suggest also that you become a member of the Canadian Model Railroad Facebook groups, and I highly suggest and hope that you will like us, that you will subscribe on the It's Train Time on our channel, and leave some comments so that it give us directions for future show.
Yes,
so,
definitely. We're always looking for comments. Your comments are going to lead us on how we do our programming.
Oh, absolutely. It's no negative comments in there, you know, because a lot of time what you will feel is a negative comments turn out to be something that we needed to hear to improve what we're doing. We're also working right now into thinking about having a Patreon page so that we can accumulate some fund to have better equipment and better setup so we can produce better video for you guys, and that is on the work, so we'll talk about that later in another show, but it's on the play. So now let's go to your photo that you have posted. Enjoy. Well, in this segment, we'll take a little trip to Holland.
Yes.
Not Holland's, Manitoba, but Holland's, the other side of the pond.
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands. With a video of a shelf layout made by Evan Diaz. The video, that little shelf layout is a beauty to see. So I hope that you stay with us and you take the time to really look at that shelf layout, because it's really worth it. So thank you, Evans, to have submitted that video to us, you know.
Yes, thank you very much.
And folks,
Enjoy.
enjoy.
Hey guys, Evan here. Welcome to my little layout. I'll make a short movie about the layout very quickly because the layout is only 3.60 meters long. Lots of people asked me in the last days about the little movie for the layout, so here we go. We are at the back of the layouts at the yard. On the right side you can see the bracket here that's made to accommodate the staging on shows. I don't have the room here at home, so my neighbor is making noise again. He's working in the kitchen. So here we have the yard with the little forest on the right side. You know, between this point here and here it's only 40 centimeters, so it's not that deep at all. But with the background picture, it gives a nice look anyway. So we have a little bunkhouse here for the maintenance of weight crew. It's 3D printed, and you can get the STL files on Tinkercad if you want. I designed them myself and they're free to download. Then we have 3 tracks, one main track and 2 sidings from the yard. The handmade turnouts, code 70, and here you have another one. So I'll back up again so you have an overall view. Let's continue the tour. So there you see in the background the road that's appearing from behind the trees with a nice truck on it, and then you have the crossing. The crossing is functional but not at the moment because the little layout is not hooked up anymore. After the crossing you have the creek with a little water in it. You see the little bear. It's a 3D printed bear. I downloaded from Thingiverse, and my friend Eric, who was also a member of the group, painted it. So little view under the bridge. So I'll take some distance again so you have the overall view again. And then a little bit further we have the little house. Actually it would be my dream house. Nice view at the lake, nice view to the mountain range, and of course trains. So if you see, this would be ideal. Picnic table, some chairs, barbecue, and just sitting, hanging around, watch the trains. So this is the tree I made recently from stuff out of the garden. You can see it in one of my previous posts. So we go to the other side of the house, and then a little detail. You see I have 2 poles here next to each other. Actually in between there is the gap for the 2 modules. So I have a little wire in between that holds it, and when I take the layout apart for transport I can undo it, and so I can still keep the wires here. Okay, we have a little scene with the boat and the dock. It's also 3D printed. Just as I mentioned, like the bunkhouse, they are available on Tinkercad and they're for free. I did design them myself. So if you go to my account, search Switchlot, you can find them. Feel free to download and print it yourself. So we have the water here. And then a nice, really nice stretch of track where you can see the trains coming by. And as everybody knows already, I like nature a lot, so I added lots of green. So we see all the trees here. Those are a mixture of custom built trees by myself and trees made by a friend from Anita Decor. And yeah, the static grass and most of the green is also from myself, but all those little details here, they're from Welberg Scenery. Martin Welberg, good friend from Holland also, he makes incredible stuff, and yeah, you can see it by yourself. It's really nice with all the textures and the different colors. So we arrive at the tunnel. It's a Woodland Scenics casted tunnel entrance with some old rock castings I had laying around. And there I take some view for you guys. Sorry for my English, but it's not my native language. So, and if we go to the other side of the tunnel, we have a little bracket again for the other staging. I hope you enjoyed the little view, guys. And thank you for all the comments in the group. Cheers.
Well, that was very beautiful video on that shelf layout from Evan Diaz. Thanks for your submissions.
Yes, thank you very much.
Now, a little segment in here is a preview of a 3 to 4 part series of how-to on the module of Reeve Junction. So let's go to our workbench here downstairs and show you what we have done so far and what is coming up.
Remember to like us, subscribe, and click the bell so we can notify you when new video are uploaded. Visit us at our website www.canadianmodelrailroad.ca. Well, there we are at the workbench, and we'll be showing you what's happening with the Reeve Junctions that you will be seeing on the how-to series. 3 or 4 segments to have it from start to finish. So Peter, maybe you can explain a bit what we're doing here, and I will get a few close shot of the module.
Okay, so what we've been doing is building this module to eventually be used on our website for selling rolling stock and locomotive as a display. So overall view of it is over here we have the Reeve House, Reeve Junction farmhouse with the white rail fence. There are cattle out in the pasture, and as you see, as you come along here with the hydro poles, these toothpicks are the placement of these other hydro poles that we'll go in after. We have a main line going through with the siding, and that'll be used for display purposes. On this side we have a cafe restaurant for train crews and people in the area to go have their coffee, with all the landscaping. And over here we have an old warehouse that's on this spur line that's, as you can see, it's not used that often, but it is still being used. And then over in this portion we have an old abandoned structure, apartment building you might say, that's really been left to go wild, and the trees have filled in. And as you can see in the front, there's some detail. So we've been working on this over a period of time, and there's still a lot of detail to finalize on it, but this will be a feature on our how-to series from start to finish. So that's a quick overview of what we've been working on, and hopefully you stay tuned, and once we publish the full series, you'll see how all the scenery and everything is done, right down to the final lighting in the buildings. So stay tuned.
Now tell me, Peter, what is those books are all about?
Well, in an upcoming show in June, I believe it is.
Yeah, the June show.
We'll be interviewing Barb Lang. She has written a number of books, but these two in particular are based on trains. This one that I'm holding is Through the Window of a Train. That was one of her earlier books. And we'll be talking to her about that one, as well as this other one that is on the Grand Beach Moonlight Specials.
No, that's Grand Beach Moonlight Specials, and that's just kind of an interesting book because Peter and I had the opportunity to build the museum piece of Grand Beach in July 1925 for their museum.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, probably in the June show or maybe July the latest, we will bring you a video of that specific layout. So that really combined the two together.
Ties the two together,
Yeah.
and so we're looking forward to having a Barb in the studio for an interview and promote her books.
Which also the book will be available for sale on our webpage.
Through the webpage.
Yes, at www.canadianmodelrailroad.ca.
Yep.
In our store, you just go to our store on the webpage and you will be able to buy those books after the 1st of June or something like that. Another thing that we're thinking about bringing into our store is our mugs for its train times that will be available in there. Our mugs will retail probably somewhere in between $18.99 to $19.99 plus shipping with its train time. So right now we got only one that being produced as a sample.
Demo
Yeah,
mug.
that's a demo. We want to see other suppliers so that maybe we can have a better cost into it. So when you go and visit our webpage, www.canadianmodelrailroad.ca, and go to our store, you will be able to purchase those books and the mugs, and you will be able also maybe to purchase locomotives, cars, and whatnot. What's coming in soon for the next show? Do you have any idea, Peter?
Oh, what have we got for the next show? We have
Well, we got two video, two parts. Video of Manuel Machado from Portugal.
Yes,
That is demonstrating
It's
the
coaling
build of a
station.
coaling stations, which
Right.
is kind of a neat, and is another video also that we will have in there. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but we got a couple of very nice video coming up for you guys. A little surprise here and there, I think, doesn't hurt.
we're surprising ourselves. I think we're getting Alzheimer's.
Did you say Alzheimer's or old timers?
Old.
Because it's probably a little bit of both. So I totally encourage you folks to subscribe, to like us on YouTube's, and to watch our video and to recommend our video to your friends. That's how we'll build a follow-up from people. I understand, and Peter also do, that we're starting in this, okay? We're just regular guys. We're not TV personalities and nothing of the sort, So bear with us. We're trying to get better and better with each show, and I hope it shows.
I think we've worked some of the bugs out as far as sound and stuff, I hope.
Well, the last video, we really didn't have that much problem in regard to sound, except when we forgot how to handle a mic when we were doing an interview.
Yes.
So
Wireless mic.
Yeah, it was creating some back feed and so on. So we apologize about that, folks. But when you see something or you have an opinion about the show or what maybe we should do, or you have suggestions for the backdrop in there, feel free to let us know. I don't think you will insult us. To the contrary.
It's like we said before, we plan the show with your comments in mind. We find that your comments are certainly helpful in how we plan things and what we do, so please keep those comments coming in.
That's right. I just put up not long ago a how-to video about painting little people, and my wife was the first one to say to me, why don't you have the camera to see how you paint it? We don't see your hands painting it, the little people. And she's right. That's the way the camera was. To me, when I was doing it, it did seems to pick up everything, but it wasn't. So if somebody said to me, why don't you show us how you do it, put your camera at the right place, that would be perfect, because it reminds me how to do it. Also, when you're making your comments on maybe what you did like to see, or what kind of format that you did like us to use, feel free to tell us so.
Yes.
Because we're not professional at this. Okay, we're the regular guy. We're like Steve Brown, right?
That's right. And what we're trying to do is share our like in the train modeling with all of the modelers out there in model land.
Yeah.
And
our point of view.
We give our point of view, but we also like your point of view so that we can build a better show. So
yeah. You will have some view of some of the work that we do. There's nothing professional in there. I don't calculate myself a professional, neither is Peter. We are just guys that try to do the best we can.
The other thing too is that over and above comments, if you have questions, and some of the questions appear on the Facebook page and other Facebook pages, but if you have questions concerning modeling, please send them in. We may not have an immediate answer for you. We may have to do a little research and maybe do some exploring with other modelers that are out there, but we will certainly try to answer any questions that you have about how to do scratch building or sceneries or whatever. So besides the comments, questions are acceptable as well.
Right below, you can write comment and ask question, and we'll give you an answer, because we looking at those comments, and so on. If you don't want to put it on a public matter, and you are on the Facebook page in our group there, just send a PM, and we'll answer your question. We will have some demonstration of how doing things, but with our own techniques, might not be necessarily your techniques, but if you do like me and Peter have done in our life in modeling, we have took a little bit of each people, and try different techniques of them. And the first thing we know, our techniques was an assembly of many other techniques, and it was working well for us, because even in between Peter and I, we have some different techniques, but they match very well together.
And as we do the how-to episodes, the viewing audience will also see the techniques that we use. And as we're doing them, we also mention that ours is not gospel.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's things we've learned over the years. And like Joe says, between the two of us, we seem to mesh very well with our techniques of doing scenery. So,
well, a big difference is for you, Peter, you started with model railroading years ago.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You were a kid when you got your first train.
When I was a kid, yeah, my dad was a model train collector, not really a modeler. I started off, here's a model kit, you put it together for me, was my dad's comments. Or here's a building, a plastic building kit, here you put it together for the train layout at home. And he went out and searched all the different road names so that he could have a collection of all the different rolling stock. So it was a different type of modeling. It was more of a collector rather than modeling. And then as I got older, I got more into my own layouts and actually doing sceneries and modeling. So,
well, majority of the people, they started on this hobby by having a train set under the tree, or a little bit like Peter did start. Well, everybody knows my story. I started after I retired because I didn't have time before. And from there, it went to where we are today. So it's been a lot of learning in a very short period of time.
yes,
Technically.
and in some ways you've far outclassed me in some of your modeling. So
Nah, I won't say that. It's some of the thing I will do that, Peter don't do, but it's something that Peter do that I don't do. So it's really, I believe that in model railroading, the fun of it is the sharing part with others.
oh yes, absolutely,
And learning from each other.
absolutely.
That's the ultimate fun that you have. Running the train is the bonus.
That's secondary.
Yeah, but it's the bonus.
It's the bonus.
Because if you run the train in a beautiful setting and so on, and you have done that setting, I'm not really looking when I do some modeling. I'm not really looking to get the compliment from others. What I'm looking at is to have feeling satisfied about what I have done. And if the models or the scene that I have done make me satisfied, and I say to myself, well, job well done, I'm happy with that. And the biggest satisfaction coming out of all that is that I will share it with others. And if what I share with others, it hit only one person that it will help, and it's modeling, I achieved my goal, So, yes, in our hobby, we got more and more people with white hair like we have, getting older, having problem to bend down and get back up. Yes, we do, but via YouTube's nowadays, which is a great tools for model railroader, we can promote this hobby. And that's why those shows are all about, is to promote the hobby, is to promote the techniques, how to do things, and help each others, because we don't know who will see the videos. The proof to that, we got people from Portugal, from Holland, from Australia, from all around the world that see these videos. And if it can help them, it help us. So
The other thing too, Joe, I've noticed occasionally on Facebook we'll have people that are in the modeling, and they'll say, I'm doing this on my layout, but I'm not too sure if it's right. And I think from what you're saying, the modeling of model trains is the enjoyment, and anybody getting into it, maybe for the first time, should try and keep in mind that it's not whether you do it right, it's whether you do it that you get the satisfaction out of doing it. And over the years, God, all of us, I'm sure, have changed scenes and stuff on our layouts, because from what we did on day one is not that satisfactory anymore. So we change it to make it look better.
you touch a very good point.
And I think that's what any modeler out there has to keep in mind that you're not trying to satisfy somebody else as to whether you're doing something right. It's the enjoyment of doing model railroading and doing the scenes and doing buildings, whether you do kit buildings or whether you like doing scratch built buildings. It's the enjoyment of creating those scenes. So the right way is your way.
But you know, Peter, when I look at the analytics of our videos, and the primary group of people that watch our video are in between 55 and 65. And then you got 65 and over. And in third place, I believe, is the 35 to 45. You know, the 18 to 22 come in way behind. So the 30 to 45 example, they will look at all sort of video on YouTubes, and they are a little scared about getting into the hobby because it will cost us a fortune. Well, you can start a layout in a budget. You know, you don't have to go for the 30 by 60 layouts, you know, all those big layouts that you see. You don't have to go to that size, you know, though that and a lot of media are promoting big layouts, but you can start in smaller layouts, and you can work with ton of material that is around you that you don't have to constantly go to a hobby shop. And Peter touched a good point when he says that we make change on sceneries and so on. A beginner will start maybe doing 2 feet by 2 feet, try to do sceneries and so on, and not really like it. Well, don't stop there. Do the next 2 feet by 2 feet, and you will see it's a little bit better in the technique. And the first thing you will know, you may have 12 feet done and starting to work a little bit more on the first 2 feet that you have started when you started, because now your technique has improved. You feel more comfortable with yourself, you know, and so on and so on. The more you do as far as layout design, as far as scenery, the more confidence you will build, the better you get at it. So technically, model railroading is by doing it and by a lot of practice. So
and we here at It's Train Time and the How-To series, hopefully we can help you along the way with some of the techniques that we've learned, techniques that other people have learned, and maybe even connect you to YouTube information that will help you along the way in improving your own modeling skills. So
absolutely right. So anyway, folks, I guess I will conclude our show for this month. Hoping you enjoy our videos and bear with us. You know, make sure to subscribe and comment. Click the bell so you can be notified. And till next time, good modeling.
Happy modeling.